Well, hello everybody, and welcome to a new edition of News You Can Use. I am your host, Thera Martin, and I am delighted and I'm thankful and appreciative for another opportunity to come back to LaSalle TV, to be on Comcast and on Verizon, and to share important community information. Today on the program, we're dedicating the whole show to spotlight Clean and Green, the Clean and Green initiative for the city of Philadelphia. What a massive job they are doing. What an amazing job they're doing. We'll be back with the show with Mr. Carlton Williams in just a moment. Thera Martin with you on this edition of News You Can Use.
Very much happy to meet you.
Wow.
Good to see you.
It is good to see you, but you didn't say that. You said you can use rebooted. I'm Thera Martin, and I am glad to be back at LaSalle TV. All right, here we go with our show. Glad to be with you. We have Mr. Carlton Williams in our first portion of our program, Director of Clean and Green Initiative. He's already on the set with me. I'm so glad that you're here. And in the second segment, you will remain with me, and we'll also be joined by Casey Cooklick, who is the Deputy Director of Clean and Green Initiative. You all are doing some kind of amazing work in the city of Philadelphia, so my hat's off to you.
Thera, thank you. I'm honored, and thank you for having me on News You Can Use. I'm very excited to be here. Ultimately, we want everyone to learn and understand what we're trying to do, what Mayor Parker is trying to do with her vision for the city of Philadelphia, which is to make this city the safest, cleanest, greenest, big city in the nation with economic access to all. We have a huge portion of it in the Office of Clean and Green to help clean up our city and get rid of that nasty name of Philadelphia.
Mayor Cherelle Parker, even before she became the mayor, this was one of her major themes all throughout her campaign. And sure enough, soon as she got sworn in fact, on the day she got sworn in, my daughter and I, we were driving down Broad Street and we saw all this cleaning and activity going on, but not just on Broad Street, but on side streets as well. And so over the summer of 2024, you all just showed off in the Office of Clean and Green Initiative. You all showed off. You made this big press conference and you said, over a 13-week period, we're going to do all of this movement in the hardest hit areas of the city where there's a lot of trash and litter and mess going on. And you said it, and then you did it. Talk about that.
Yeah, well, that goes out to all of the departments that participated. Yes. We had over 12 city agencies and government partners, which are not direct city agencies, they're like quasi-government agencies, SEPTA, PHS, along with the streets department, sanitation, the Philadelphia Police Department, the Parking Authority, Mural Arts, PPR, Parks and Recreation, CLIP, License and Inspection.
My best
I can
friends.
go on and on, Water Department, and if I got one or two, I'm so sorry, but all in all, it was a combined effort. Mayor Parker talks about intergovernmental. She talks about coordinated, holistic strategy. This is the example of what she means by intergovernmental holistic strategy that touches every neighborhood where residents can see, touch, and feel government.
She also says, look at what I say, listen to what I say, and then watch what I do.
That's
and
right.
She's not joking. Once again, we see this rollout. It's been happening. It happened all summer long. So that 13-week initiative is now completed.
Yes.
And so you're off to your next steps. But before we go to what you're cooking up next, I just want to take hats off to you all again and all the city agencies involved with Kensington, because that was the first stop along the way, and that was a major trek. That was a major trek to do that. And for all the naysayers who said, them tents gonna be back up a week later, they're not back up.
That's right.
And I drive by Kensington every day going to the WURD radio station. They're not back up.
Yeah, our goal there was to address some of the hardest hit areas that face litter challenges in the city first. We knew a one-stop cleanup is not going to solve all the problems, so we knew we need to do more, and we're going to talk about that a little later. But ultimately, we needed people to see, touch, and feel what a clean street would look like just once, because some people haven't experienced that, believe it or not. Some trash-filled areas and communities have remained for years, and we wanted residents to see what an entire neighborhood looked like, not just the trash, but abandoned cars, but potholes, street lights. All of that was a part of this initiative. We did over 61,000 quality of life services to the citizens of Philadelphia during this 13-week program in every part of the city of Philadelphia. And I was so excited that the departments came together and said, you know, this is how we should be doing things going forward. And so we're making this standard operating procedure. We're going to do this multiple times throughout the year. And I think that is going to make a huge difference in the way we impact the city and accomplish the mayor's vision of a safer, cleaner, greener Philadelphia.
Learned behavior. Sometimes behaviors we learn are not good behaviors. And I'm not sure what all our amazing city can do to get those of us who have some bad behaviors around trash and litter to make things better. But I'm willing to help however I can to get on the highest mountain I can in Philadelphia and try to teach people and encourage people to be proud of where you live. Put your trash out properly. It's simple little things sometimes that you shared with me some of those tips when we did a radio program not so long ago earlier this summer. I mean, put your trash out properly.
Absolutely. It's the small things that go a long way. Collectively, if everyone did their part, then it would be that much less trash that we have to clean up and address. Things like, as you mentioned, putting out your trash properly. Don't let bags overflow into the streets. Those are the type of things. Get a quality trash bag that doesn't break open when animals are in the area trying to sift through. Those are some of the smaller things that people can do. Pick up a piece of trash, sweep up in front of your property. Basic things that can help the city of Philadelphia keep our community clean. Because as massive as this effort was, without the support of the community, we cannot keep it clean. And that is our goal ultimately, is to get to a point where we're not constantly cleaning, that we're now transitioning into making sure we maintain. You know, in Disney World, you ever been to Disney World and seen the?
One time.
Did you see how clean it is out in Disney World?
Amazing.
You know, and I read in their culture they say cleaning is not an afterthought. It is a part of the Disney experience. Well, that's what I want for Philadelphia. I want it to be part of the Philadelphia experience when you come here and see a clean street, and so does the mayor.
And I think about the mayor again and how she described while she was a city council person and just looking out her window one day at City Hall, and she said, I see people down there cleaning and picking up as trash is happening. They're picking it up immediately. That's what you just said.
Absolutely.
So that's what we want to see even more of, not just in Center City, but in some of the other areas of the city. And it's happening through cleaning ambassadors.
That's exactly right. So we're now in our next phase, launching the district residential cleaning programs that I have a district crew in every council district in the city of Philadelphia. That's 10 council districts that we have. So there will be 10 cleaning crews constantly cleaning in those areas on call all day, 5 days a week, making sure that they address and maintaining what we've started during the One Philly United City citywide cleanup.
And some people, I think, get the sense, we hear about these fines for littering and stuff. That's a joke. They think it's a joke, but you all are cracking down in that area some more now too, right?
Yes, absolutely. Well, when Mayor Parker was then Council Member Parker, she passed legislation to increase the fines for illegal dumping, which is another major issue in the city of Philadelphia. Illegal dumping is defined as trash or unwanted debris placed out in any location other than with your trash collection day. So private contractors, tires, all of those things that you see dumped on a park and recreation center, at a trash can, in a lot, that is called illegal dumping. Well, she passed legislation when she was a council member to increase the fines up to $5,000 per item. And I'm happy to say that our law department is enforcing it through a new civil procedure that we thought about several years ago, and it's now in play. They've caught over 75 people who've issued over $500,000 in fines. We used to only give fines up to $300, which is almost the cost of doing business. Now that has changed. And you're starting to see a difference. You're starting to see less sites that are dumped on. We're investing in cameras. We're going to continue to expand the camera network that the Philadelphia Police Department uses. It's the same network that we use in the city of Philadelphia, and we monitor those cameras to catch people and to make sure we maintain the areas so that they don't get jumped on.
This is good. This is all good. I tell you, you come to us with some great information today. Mr. Carlton Williams is our guest, and he is the director for the Clean and Green Initiative Office for the City of Philadelphia. Prior to that, you had over 20 years city experience, working, leading the streets department.
Sure, I had multiple departments that I led. I started in Parks and Rec.
Okay.
I moved to the Streets Department as the deputy. I spent some time in license and inspection, and then I finished as the commissioner of streets which ran both transportation and sanitation, which is now split into two departments under Mayor Parker. And now I'm heading the Office of Clean and Green. So I've led a long career.
So you know the moving parts and you understand the different departments. And so to see everybody working as a team has got to be reassuring that you can get this job done, because it is a humongous job that the mayor has given you.
Oh, and then and all credit goes to Mayor Cherelle Parker, who gave us the resources and kind of the authority to bring those departments together. You know, under Mayor John Street, we did some parts of it, like the NTI initiative, and Michael Nutter also, Mayor Nutter also did, you know, recycling and sustainability. Jim Kinney wanted to do mechanical street sweeping. So each of them had their segments. Mayor Parker wanted to do it all at once, and not only those things, but much more, because it doesn't make sense to just do piecemeal projects. You can't leave abandoned cars while you're cleaning streets, and you can't leave the lots filthy while you're trying to rehabilitate houses. So in order for us to do all of these things holistically, we had to do them and bring all the departments together. And it actually, you know, talking to the departments, they loved it. They saw progress and change, and they felt a part of a movement in the city of Philadelphia, none like we've ever seen before. So again, that goes out to Mayor Parker's vision for the city.
And in all credit to the city of Philadelphia, the city officials, before you all started towing cars, there was a message put out. There was a clear message put out that if your stuff ain't right with your vehicle, you need to address it or your car could be towed. So no sense of folks, neighbors running down the street now behind the tow truck saying, wait, what you towing my vehicle that was sitting there for the last 5 years with no tags on it, just collecting dirt and trash, and God forbid if kids, young people were getting in the car doing stuff that they had no business doing.
Yeah, PPA, Philadelphia Parking Authority, and the police department partnered together, and they moved over 2,100 cars throughout the 13-week period. And that is a huge step. Mayor Parker wanted to do 5,000 cars this year alone. Already, we're off to a great start in doing 2,100 cars just in this 13-week period. So I think we're going to exceed that goal and continue to address those issues. But you're right, there was a massive educational campaign to tell people that if you don't have proper registration or if your car has been sitting, there will be an opportunity or the likelihood that it will be removed and towed at your expense.
So tell people, that's important. Watch the news so you can be informed, right?
Absolutely, yes.
We've got Mr. Carlton Williams with us today. We're so glad he is here. We're going to come back in just a moment, and we have another one of his colleagues, the Deputy Director of the Clean and Green Initiative, Mr. Casey Cooklick. He will join us as well, and we continue this conversation. It's so important. We got to get our city to be just as clean as the mayor wants it to be. We will no longer be Philadelphia. Stay with us. We'll be back.
Medicines used to treat colds and flu contain a pain reliever and fever reducer found in hundreds of over-the-counter and prescription medicines. But taking too much or more than one medication containing acetaminophen per day can damage your liver. So always read the label and don't take acetaminophen if you drink 3 or more alcoholic drinks every day. To learn more, visit fda.gov/OTC pain info. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Food and Drug Administration.
Did you know that listening to music, enjoying art, or simply holding hands can boost your cognition? Like me, you want to maintain brain health for as long as possible. I'm Kevin Jameson, President of the Dementia Society of America. Please request our free guide filled with 10 building blocks to better brain health, care planning, and facts about dementia. Visit our website at 1-800-DEMENTIA.org or call us at 1-800-DEMENTIA. You want to live life to the fullest, and our free guide can help.
We live in a country that incarcerates its own people more than any other nation in the world.
The individual can age out of crime. He or she, 9 times out of 10, is no longer thinking like he or she once thought when they were 18. This is a good time to have a second look for everyone. We have 50 years of data that proves to us emphatically that the old way of doing things no longer works.
I found hope in the midst of an overwhelming situation.
Alcoholism is a disease that can affect any family. Everyone suffers, but there is help and hope at Al-Anon Family Groups.
Al-Anon gave me my life back. I'm a better father and husband.
Are you in an overwhelming situation because of someone else's drinking? Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Local and virtual meetings are available. Maybe one could work for you. Call 1-866-200-0033 or visit
And we're back now with news you can use. This is the first show of the new season at LaSalle TV, and I want to thank Professor Tanya Ellis for allowing me to come back once again and have this opportunity to share information with our community, because that's what it's all about. This program is seen on Comcast Channel 56 and on Verizon Channel 36. I'm so glad I've got Clean and Green Initiative in front of me today. I'm talking about Carlton Williams, who is the Director of Clean and Green. Then I've got Casey Cooklick, who is the Deputy Director of Clean and Green Initiative, and you all have just been rolling it out. And from where I sit, I was like, oh my God, this is major challenging. How are they gonna get all this done? But you guys have been doing it, and not by yourself. As you've already pointed out, Carlton, you've got 12 city departments working with you to make things happen. Now understand that you got your finger on the greening part quite a bit with Clean and Green. What can we do in that area?
So much, and I think it's really important to start with like why it's important that we do that, because we know that greening has so much of an impact on people's well-being, their health, the way they're able to participate socially in their neighborhoods, get out and recreate and have a good time. So it's really important that we start to like layer in greening efforts into neighborhoods as we address quality of life issues too. And so we're developing a plan that works in partnership with other agencies in the city, with nonprofit partners, quasi-governmental folks, to look at a comprehensive greening plan for the city. And we're really focused on natural solutions. So greening that people can see, touch, and feel in their neighborhoods, in their parks, street trees, community gardens, looking at the entire fabric of our city and thinking about how can we start to, again, layer in various greening elements so that people are able to better enjoy their neighborhoods and it's more environmentally friendly and more health benefits for them as well.
Now I think about retired Pennsylvania State Senator Shirley Kitchen. She lives in a part of North Philadelphia, and she was sharing with me recently that a lot of the trees in her community have aged out and they're cracking. You can tell that they're old or they're dying or dead. And so she's got this plan in her head, and she's trying to roll it out with a community group in her area of North Philadelphia to make a difference with that and to start trying to get the dead trees removed, and then they want to plant new trees. So that's a part of what the vision is then.
100%. That is, we do have a Philly tree plan, which was released last year by Parks and Recreation in partnership with many partners. Our office is working on that plan as well, helping to implement it, helping to fundraise for it. And one of the key programs, one of the key things that we hear a lot from neighbors is, I don't want a tree because it's going to bust up the sidewalk, it's going to bust the pipes, it's too big.
I don't want to clean the leaves.
So what we're doing a couple things through the tree plan. One is we are going to be instituting, or at least piloting, I think, a program with funding from the federal government to look at hazardous tree removal, right? So there is an opportunity for homeowners or people who live to actually get help with taking care of those problem trees.
Because they're expensive to get rid of.
The second thing that I think is really interesting is we've come a long way in the last many decades since all those big sycamores were planted in our city. And we really emphasize now right tree, right place. So we're looking at the species, we're looking at the width of the sidewalk, we look at whether or not there's overhead wires and things like that, so that we're not going to be planting in places that can't handle a larger tree. And that's really also about regaining trust with neighbors, and that's something that we've worked really hard on, and Parks and Rec has worked really hard on in the last few years, is to regain trust so people do want trees. I
tell you, being a business quarter manager, which, like, how did I become a business quarter manager? I'm a radio person. I write for print media. I'm a TV person, cable TV person. how did I get into business corridor management? But I did, and I love it. And I'm always trying to find ways to work with the community and with small business owners to make a difference in North Philly. And so at one point, maybe about, I want to say 7, 8 years ago, Councilwoman Cindy Bass got some funding to redo the grounds around Panatti Recreation Center, outside around the grounds. And so that was greening, and they brought in trees and what have you. And the community that lives right across the street from the rec center, we asked them, did they want trees? Because they could have had new trees in front of the house. None of them said yes. So it's kind of, to me, it looks kind of lopsided. We've got trees in front of Panatti Recreation Center on one side of North 22nd Street. The other side, there's no trees because the neighbors didn't want it. And the biggest thing that they kept saying, that I kept hearing, why not, was they didn't want to be bothered with having to clean the leaves. So, interesting. But trees are healthy for us.
They're healthy for us. They do improve business corridors, the walkability of those areas. They help with the economic vitality of the storefronts and the small business owners along those places. So we do want to encourage people to plant where it makes sense, but we've got to regain their trust in order to do that most effectively.
What else would you want to share with our viewing audience about the greening piece, and how can we, just the regular people, general public, get involved?
One of the things that I think we're most excited about that this mayor committed to this year is to clean and green more vacant lots year-round. And that's something that was featured in her budget this year and that we'll be looking to implement. There's over 40,000 vacant lots in the city. They often are eyesores. They attract illegal dumping. And previously, the program that dealt with those vacant lots addresses a fraction of them only half of the year in terms of keeping them clean and keeping them green. So we're investing more money in that program to bring those lots up to a clean and green standard for 12 months. And they often become places that act as sort of informal parks. People can, they can install benches, they'll plant trees, sometimes there's pollinators and really like sort of environmentally beneficial plantings that we can do. So that's another element of the greening vision that this mayor has helped support that I think is really important. And then the other thing that I like to talk about, and hopefully we'll see come to fruition, is residential block greening. So we can work with community members, with our PMBC block captains to get people planting just on your stoop or have some window boxes.
Love it.
Really easy things, easy interventions that people can make. And that's, again, in line with the mayor's vision of see, touch, and feel and bringing greening right down to the block level where it's going to make a real difference.
So like last summer, I think it was the summer of 2023, actually, and you were over on North 24th Street, and you had a check, you brought out a check that Block Club won. They were in a competition and for beautification, I guess it was block beautification, and they got to choose how they want to spend the money. So I'm thinking as we go forward with this clean and green, some blocks who may win a beautification contest or something, they can buy flowers or shrubbery or things like that.
That is the goal. The Block Captain Beautification Grant Program, where we reconnected in North Philadelphia, was a huge success. Seed money, it goes a long way when you give about $500 to a community group and watch the magic that they can create on their block. They put in gardens, they put in flowers, they put in new planters, and those things make a block come back to life. The new greenery part of it that we talked about, that Casey talked about as well, is part of that fabric. And it also brings the community together because they're all planning projects. They're telling you where they want things to go. And then afterwards, I was at a program called Hope Garden in North Philadelphia at 20th and Tioga. And it's amazing what they did to a lot that used to get dumped on.
I saw it,
right? They had a big party, and it was about 300 people. They had jazz, and they had food gardens. I mean, you would have been amazed to know that we were in the heart of an industrial community at one time where there was a lot of short dumping and crime probably was a bit higher in other parts of the city. Now the community has taken back their neighborhood, they're maintaining it. It's no longer an eyesore. We don't have to spend millions of dollars picking up the dump trash and debris, and the community is maintained it. So it's just a win-win situation for all of us.
Now, I know it's just the fall and we still have to get through the winter before we come to the spring, but I am a nut for the citywide spring cleanup. I guess I need to get a new life or something. I love the spring cleanup.
That's great.
That was so much fun. We had the 39th Police District police officers came out and worked with us. We had the North 22nd Street Business Association, a few of the members from there, a few of the members from Allegheny West Foundation Board of Directors, and we were cleaning and sweeping and laughing and having fun with people from the neighborhood. We went on one of the blocks and we were cleaning over there, and just people that I've seen many times walking down 22nd Street that I never like spoke to or had a conversation with before, well, now I know where you live. And we were laughing and talking, and that was good. I think we need to do more of that. I think we should have a spring cleanup and a fall one.
Well, actually, I did have a fall one, but since we transitioned, this year we decided to focus on the key initiatives that we spoke about earlier, which is the residential cleaning. But the annual Philly Spring Cleanup has been running for 17 years now, bringing people closer together and focus on the things that you talked about, like litter prevention. And all of the people in the neighborhoods and communities look forward to it. I mean, we get the calls as early as January to start signing up. So we'll continue to do that. So it will stay here to stay. So we're excited to have
Okay, a final thought on the green initiative, and then I'll get a final thought from you.
What am I most excited about? All of it, really. I think, and we're also looking again, like I mentioned, there's a big federal push to fund environmental justice, climate resiliency, urban greening initiatives. So we're taking advantage of those things in a big way. And hopefully, knock on wood, we'll have some more funding and investment to announce soon, particularly around the tree plan that I mentioned, and then everything else that'll roll out after that.
Fantastic job. And for you, Mr. Director, final thought that you would leave with our viewing audience.
Absolutely. Well, we've off to a good start with the One Philly United City citywide cleanup, but we know we have a long way to go. And the success of our efforts, the mayor's vision, is largely going to depend on the support that we receive from our residents. So we want them to join the fight. Log on to our website and learn how you can maintain your community, become a block captain at the officeofcleanandgreen.org. That is our website. When you log on to it, it'll connect you to all of the resources we talked about earlier, and the new programs that I mentioned are soon to be added. Those are the things that we want residents to get involved, join the fight against litter and illegal dumping, and let's end Philadelphia once and for all. That's right.
I will fist pound you too, but I can't reach you over there. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You all have made my week. You made my week, giving me an opportunity to shine the spotlight on the Office of the Clean and Green Initiative for the City of Philadelphia. I'm Thera Martin. I thank you so much for joining us on this first edition for our new season of News You Can Use. Have a great day, everybody, and keep watching LaSalle TV.